Hello everyone, my name is Teacher Rochelle Armonisit. I'm taking up Masters of Education, major in English. And today is a very exciting day for me. It's because I will be having a discussion about a whole language approach. So before we start, let me ask you a question. What does a whole language approach mean? And what comes into your mind when you hear the word whole language approach? Well, a whole language approach describes a literacy philosophy which emphasizes that children should focus on meaning and strategy instruction. So focus on the learning complete meaning of the word. So focus on learning the complete meaning of a word. So therefore, you don't stress the phonetic part of a sentence and break it down. So the whole language approach basic goal is comprehension. Thus, the teacher also has a big part of the learning process. Okay, so the whole language approach, in the whole language approach, teachers are expected to provide a literacy-rich environment for their students and to combine speaking and listening, reading and writing. So there is an integration of learning. So the whole language teachers emphasizes the meaning of text over the sounds of letters, like table. So, and phonics instruction becomes just one component of whole language classroom. So, the whole language is considered a top-down. It's considered a top-down approach where the teacher constructs a personal meaning for a text based on using their prior knowledge to interpret the meaning of what they are reading. So there is a prior knowledge to interpret. Therefore, the experience is one of the best knowledge they possess or they have before reading a certain topic. So, what do you think are the roles of the teacher? What are the roles of the students or the learners? Okay, so basically the teacher's role is to facilitate. They should be active participants in the learning community. So they should be the one to motivate or encourage the students. They are expert in passing knowledge to the students. Okay? So the teacher also creates a climate that enables collaborative learning. However, the student's job or the student's role is to collaborate with his classmates and with the teacher. So there is like pair work or whole group activities. So students are evaluators of learning process with the help of the teacher. So knowing that the teacher is the facilitator, the students are the evaluators with the help of the teachers. Now, the learner is self-directed. His experiences are used as resources to enrich the learning process. Okay, so what kind of learning activities, what type of learning and teaching activities the teacher should provide? Reading for purpose of comprehension. So as we know, the basic goal of a whole language is the comprehension. Writing as a process through which learners explore and discover the meaning. So, integration. There is an integration of reading, writing, and other skills. We consider other skills as listening and speaking. Okay, so there are several strands run through most descriptions of whole language. So, constructivist approaches to knowledge creation, emphasizing students' interpretation of text and free expression of ideas in writing. So there is also an emphasis on high quality and culturally diverse literature. So integrating literacy into other areas of curriculum, especially math, science, and social studies. So frequent reading with students in small guided reading groups. That's why we consider group activities or pair work. Frequent reading also to students with read alouds, like you allow your students to read aloud and you listen, and that's the time for you to do corrections and ask for a certain comprehension check. and frequent reading by students independently. Okay, so some key characteristics of whole language education is that first we have acceptance of learners. So acceptance of learners, that means the whole language teachers develop the classroom environment and curriculum for and with the students to meet their needs and engage them in learning about what interests them. So what captivates their mind and heart. Okay, the teacher's job is to meet their needs and engage them in a learning about what interests them, as well as to cover essentials from curriculum guidelines. So second is flexibility with structure. So the whole language teacher organizes the day in larger blocks of time so that children engage in meaningful pursuits. And the third one is the supportive classroom community. Supportive from the word support. Children need support. So teachers help children skills for interacting with each other, solving interpersonal conflicts and problems, supporting one another in learning and taking substantial responsibility for their own behavioral and learning. So that's the point of having the supportive classroom community. And we have the skills taught in context. Skills taught in context, which means instead of being taught in isolation, skills are taught mini lessons and conferences in the context of students' reading, writing, and learning. In short, skills are taught while students are engaged in real-life tasks. Now, the next one is teacher support learning. Contextualized assessment that emphasizes individual growth as well as their accomplishments. So children are involved in assessing their own work progress and setting future goals for learning. So I think everybody understood that. So children are involved in assessing their own progress. So they will find out if they are really improving or they're learning something from that experience. Okay, and they set goals for that thing. Now, in conclusion, the whole language is not a teaching method, but an approach to learning that sees language as the whole entity. So the advantage of whole language is, first, it focuses on the experiences and activities that are relevant to learners. Relevant to learners' lives and needs. That's the point. Okay? Second advantage, it uses authentic materials. Why is it authentic? It's because they focus on experiences and activities that are relevant to their lives and needs. That's why it is authentic. Then, the third advantage, this whole language can be used to facilitate the development of all aspects of a second language. Okay? Is everything clear, or do you have any questions? Okay. So thank you and have a good afternoon.